Hey everybody, welcome back to, I guess Car Talk, Time with Jesus. Be in the truck soon. So let me dig into this. A lot going on and a lot that I've been saving for this time here. So this may be a kind of lengthy video, which most of you are used to. Some of you watch it all the way through, and I do appreciate that. I know Jesus does, because you're getting information. It's helping you with your everyday life. It's helping you get through things, because if Jesus can rescue me and he can pull me out of there, that's why I share these life stories. Some of you that's been with this video for a long time and been watching the content that comes out, you know my life story. You know I bring this stuff in there. It's to help, not for pity or anything else. So that being said, I welcome any comments, good or bad, and I will never mention your name, but I will talk about it. Because it's easier for me to talk about it than it is to send a reply and they get drugged down with reply after reply after reply. Then anyways, let's get to the important stuff. We all see the current events. We all see what's going on. There's a lot of talk and, people coming against what's happening with Trump. What's my thought on that? Well, I'm going to answer somebody's email, and I'm just going to say my thought is, if you broke the law and you're supposed to be a godly person, whether you're godly or not, you should not break the law. I mean, I'm guilty of breaking the laws. I know I have, and I confessed of it. But if you're going to be our president, then you need to stand up to the plate and do what's right. Stop blaming the Clintons. It's not going to do no good to blame anybody else for what happened. We're supposed to still do what's right. There's a movie called Courageous. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you watch this movie and watch Javier, what he goes through. And there's an event in there that comes to exactly what I'm talking about right now. And I'm not going to give it away. I recommend, and no, I'm not endorsing it. No, they're not endorsing nothing here. If you need a good godly movies to watch, then check out these brothers that make these movies. Watch the original ones. Now it was low budget at first, and they did all they could with the cameras and moving stuff around in the community where they were at. But it's evolved into really good movies, and it's something you can sit down with your family and not see nudity and cussing and all this nonsense that's in these movies these days. So, the end times, a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people prophesying of it. And you look at the signs, I get stuff from Jesus too, and some people just believe it. And I'm telling you, people, I am convinced now. I'm going to make up these T-shirts. I'm going to make up these T-shirts and says, hell, you don't have to believe it, but you will when you get there. And I'm telling you right now, I'm sure somebody who's watching this is probably going to go, well, I'm going to beat you to it. Fine, I don't care. I don't care at all. At least they'll be out there. Because you will. And hopefully you're not just going to do it to make a profit. You're going to do it because you're sick of walking in that direction. Now let me tell you something very important that the Lord showed me through a vision. And again, a vision, I can touch stuff. Dreams, I can't, and I don't remember all my dreams. The visions haunt me, basically. Not in a bad way, but a good way. I go through this vision, and I seen up on the clouds, Michael standing in the clouds. Now people are going to see this, and they're going to cry out, it's Michael. And this will happen over Israel. Judgment is coming, people. United States is going to be judged here real soon. We are going to be hit with some very powerful war over here. Disasters. We're going to have, this year I believe we're going to have some very powerful hurricanes. And I believe that what the Lord's been showing me for the last couple of years, it's coming this year. Now, if that's true, but I see it coming from Florida, and I still see parts of Florida being just wiped out, totally. And then I see it moving up the coastal, all the way up through Virginia Beach and all that. There's going to be really not much this thing isn't going to hit and destroy. I believe it's going to be like, I want to say kind of maybe like a surge or something, and it's going to push it towards Texas. In Texas, it's not going to be expecting this. This is what I've been seeing in these visions. Now, I know people can say, well, hey, I spoke about when the Lord said hurricanes would come and it won't even be hurricane season. Tornadoes would touch down and it won't even be the season for it. It's just going to happen. I also talked about record-breaking. When you hear people saying it's record-breaking temperatures, record-breaking this or whatever it was. But the fact that record-breaking is bringing us to the time. We will know the hour, he says, but we will not know the day or the time. Well, we know the hour is coming upon us because, people, it's there. These signs are being unveiled in front of us. We're just too busy in our grindstone of our lives, overfilling our plates, using excuses after excuse after excuse, instead of standing up and being a godly person. People claim that they're godly, but number one, if you're godly, then you don't point fingers and cast stones. You especially don't cast stones at someone that your whole entire family is guilty of. I mean, it's insane. Especially if you're a church member, an organization under the Church of God, it's supposed to be godly. I don't see no godly in it. And some of these churches are falling because the pastors have fell. The pastors have fell under the sleep of Lucifer. And I've been talking about this for the last couple years. But here's the thing that's coming. You know, so many people right now are complaining about, and I say complaining because I mean, I'm hearing it all over. I've heard it since the COVID disappeared. And I heard it that they're back to checking the receipts. Okay, first of all, I just want to say, hold on. I understand you're frustrated with it. I'm frustrated with it too. But then I got to look at it is, the lash out on the person doing their job, that's what they're told to do. We need to just say, I'm not going to show you the receipt. Do what you got to do. I appreciate you doing your job. And walk on.
Way station ahead.
Don't get into a confrontation. Don't scream. And I seen a lady at a Walmart yelling at an old guy. I swear this guy had to be in his late 70s or 80s. And he's just standing there looking at it. He goes, I'm sorry, man. And she wouldn't even let him say what he had to say. Just hatefulness. I'm not a thief and that. Well, what's a thief look like? I mean, seriously. You know, we also got to look at the flip side of it. How long does it take for them to look at the receipt and look at your card? Okay? I understand some of them don't even look in the bags, don't even look in, they're just looking at anything that's unbagged. So if you're self-bagging something and you got a six-pack of soda, then throw it in a bag, people, and they're not going to bother you. A TV, naturally, they're going to look at, but there should be an associate pushing that TV out to you. So you shouldn't have a problem there. They'll probably look at the receipt, because these days, a lot of theft is done inside instead of people coming outside to do it. Basically, it's an inside job. Workers are doing it instead of people just walking through the door. Anyways, let's move on. Well, what is this doing? It's happening everywhere, people. It's not just certain stores. It's many stores that are doing this now. Many stores are now making self-checkouts less items. Like 10 or under, 15 under. Target, I believe, was the first one that started this craziness. Supposedly to stop theft. Well, I tell you what, I put it to a test one day. I scanned an item and didn't bag it, okay? And the next thing I know, the light's turning red and the screen showing me doing a quick scan, and it didn't scan the item, but it's showing that I went across the sensor, but it didn't scan it. So I'm standing there holding it, waiting on the girl, and she come over, she did what she had to do, and pulled it up. She goes, this item right here. I said, yeah, it's in my hand. I said, it's amazing how you guys, how corporate net is worried about theft, but yet this machine tells you that I swiped something, but it didn't scan. So clearly that light's going to go off. So if everybody's doing their job there, then there's no theft. If they're standing there looking down at the cards and watching, and I get it, there's problems, I got to walk away. I get it. But what I'm saying is, we sometimes got to deal with what we got to deal with. Now, they're reducing this. Think about this very hard. when they're reducing the number of items you can scan, okay, now we go into the next phase of this, which is, why are they all doing this? Now they're making cashiers come back, which I don't understand the purpose. And until I really thought, now this is my thought, and granted, the more I meditate on stuff and I sit and think about it, you get your thoughts from Lucifer, or you get it from Jesus and God. One of the places it's coming from. The more I thought about it, and I said, okay, this one currency, this globalness, and all this stuff. We know this is the big election year for the president. We hear the nonsense going on. People, don't let it go past, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. No matter who's in there, we may rise up. Yeah, Trump did a good job of keeping us where we're at today. That's for dang sure. Am I a big fan of the Biden administration? No, I'm not. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it has nothing to do with the D, R, and R. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with, this is just plain nonsense. The prices that we're paying, the rising up of I'm just going to say taxes on the home, because I get really confused with all that crap. And again, this is the second year in a row that we got to pay this ridiculous amount of money. And it's like this year, it's like $800 for, or we could pay an extra $100 and some a month for the rest of the year. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Owning a home sucks. There's nothing joyful about owning a home. Even the experience of buying the home, the guy that was selling it turned into a nightmare. And the joy of it finally became a joy when we finally got all of our stuff in there and figured out what we were going to keep and wasn't, because we bought a house that was fully furnished and we had all of our stuff. So a lot of the stuff we intertwined, a lot of stuff we got rid of. So think about what's going on with this. What is the number one popular thing right now that started with COVID? DoorDash. Home delivery. I told you, in the end times, people are left here. They will deliver your food to your door. The only way you're going to get it. There will be no more inside shopping. That's why they're going to bring these cashiers back, and why you're going to have extremely long lines. Anybody remember back in the early Black Friday days when you would have to go through there and mad rush everybody and knock people over and kick and bite and scream and throw stuff or take stuff out of people's cart? Okay, but I literally have seen all that at shopping at a Black Friday before. Seen an old lady get knocked over and people were trampling on her. Seriously, I've seen this stuff. Over merchandise. I don't know, people. I don't know where we get our priorities sometimes, but it just kind of makes you wonder, don't it? But anyways, so think about this. The more they frustrate us with the checking out, going out the door, or the long lines, I just hold my receipt in my hand when I'm walking out the door. I literally do. I just hold it in my hand, and I keep pushing the cart. And I ask them if they want to see it. They look at the cart real quick. Everything's in bags. No, you're good. Now, I'm not saying this is the way to just do theft either, because that's wrong. And it raises product inside that store because they got to recuperate from theft. Damaged items and stuff they can send back to the DCs and stuff and do a return. And they get credit for it. Whatever, the Walmart, Targets, Save-A-Lot, whatever stores you shop at, whatever they do with that stuff, that's on them. But it's not up to us, people, to tear somebody. How would you feel if you're that elderly person standing there? What if that was your mom and you see me ripping into your mom like that? How would you feel? You can't say that you would say something to me, because now you're being a hypocrite. But if we continue to have theft, the store prices go up. And that's not the only reason why they do it. I mean, stores are in trouble right now for inflation costs and rising up products and stuff that they should have never done. Well, good. These stores need to be caught for this stuff too. Some people, they go on with the, aren't you afraid of losing your job or anything? No, it's the truth. I have freedom of speech. The things I speak about that are coming out right now are in the news, which just backs up everything I'm telling you. Now, the Michael thing I don't know if that's aired yet, if it's come out, but when it does, I'm going to get back to that, so hold on to that thought for a moment, but pay attention to what I'm telling you right now. So this is bringing into the New World Order. This is what's going to happen in the end times after the upcalling of Jesus' sheep that God has given him. Notice I said, who has God has given him? Because that's scripture, people. Maybe not said in that exact words, but it's scripture. It's in the Holy Bible. Why they call it holy? Because I'll tell you why. Because God's holy. God's perfect. God doesn't make mistakes. And the words that are spoken in that Bible, I don't care what language, what generation, whatever new translation or audio, video, whatever you're listening to, it still comes off the original. Yes, we add words to it because we're English and we have to put 1,000 words to get a sentence out. My opinion again, but I don't really care what version it is, as long as somebody's reading the Bible. People make you need to read the King James Version. That's enough to make you not want to read the King James Version, is because you can't even pronounce half those words. So why would you detour somebody away from reading and read that where they're not going to understand it? Does it really matter? Why do we put so much thought into what someone else is doing? Instead of worrying about our own self and our own families and what your family's going through, because you're obviously worried about everything in this world. I'm going to start a sitcom I'm going to call it Keeping Up with the Gossip. Because that's exactly what we're doing. Reading something and then putting our twists on it. Went to dinner last night with Darlene. We were talking about some of the current events and some of the stuff going on with Trump and some of the stuff he was saying. And it was amazing what she said. She goes, well, Donald Trump said stuff before, and whether it's campaigning stuff or whatever. But, it's like, my point is exactly what I said, people. No matter who we put in office, they're human, okay? We gotta expect they're going to make mistakes. We don't have to put up with all this nonsense that we've been putting up with, but we do it. Because why? Glad you asked. We have the best warfare against anything going on in this world. It's called prayer. We lack to do it until we're in trouble. Well, people, we are SOSing, sinking. We've already sunk. We're going to be next to the Titanic here in a little bit if we don't start praying. I pray about everything. I prayed if the Lord put me to sleep. Because I know it's going to be a long night, a long day. And depending on how my body starts off and how the middle of the day goes, if it starts going crazy, I'm already praying. Pray until something happens. Put it at Jesus' feet. That's the power of the cross. That's why he went to the cross. So we can have eternal life with him. But yet people love hell so much, they're living a hellish life here. Satan's back clapping his hands. I wish sometimes you could see exactly what Lucifer does when you sin. If I walked up to you every time you were sinning and I'm clapping and laughing and rubbing my hands together, what would you do? Think about what would you do? You would probably, what's so funny? Especially when it falls out from underneath you. Your car won't start one day and I just come up to you and start laughing. Because you're going to be late for work again. And you're liable to be on the chopping block this time. And I'm standing there laughing. How would you feel? You'd probably be pretty pissed off and lash out at me. Well, it doesn't do no good to lash out at me. It doesn't do no good to lash out at Lucifer. Because he doesn't care. I'm not saying I don't care. But I'm not going to listen to you if you're going to scream and yell at me. I'm just going to turn around and walk away. And if it comes to me, I might even pray. But I might have to be praying for myself not to retaliate back with words. Because I was used to that. Doesn't mean it's right, people. I'm not saying it's right. Never once have I said it was right. Anything I've done, I never said. What's happening is the beginning of the sorrows and the things that you're going to see when the rapture comes. There's going to be no more lines. There's going to be no more going in there. This stuff's all going to be delivered. Matter of fact, I just put in an order this morning so Darlene wouldn't have to go to the store. I really don't like her going to the stores by herself because of, not that if anything did happen, but at least there's an opportunity that I could get her out of a store and get her at least out the doors so she stands a chance. Whatever happens, happens. If I got to take a bullet, I'll take a bullet. I'd be more than happy to take a bullet sometimes. First of all, I'm going home to Jesus. Second of all, I won't be in pain no more. I mean, there's honestly, people, there's days that I pray that I don't even wake up. And that's the truth. Because the night is so long sometimes. I remember times when I was in the demonic realm and the night terrors was exhausting. This is exactly how I feel sometimes when I have this pain. Like I'm going to be in the night, and the stuff that I see in the night, that's what bothers me the most. It's not, the pain is, I'm just used to it. But when you start seeing the stuff that you see, whew. I snapped a picture one night of my bunk curtain. It was closed. I snapped a picture and I sent it to Darlene. I said, look at this curtain, tell me what you see. Or I might have told her, look at the curtain, look at the something in there, but clearly you could see the faces sticking themselves through that curtain. This is stuff I see. Luckily, my camera was able to catch it because of the new cameras on these phones. Was able to grab it just perfect. I don't make this stuff up. I wish I could. If I could make up this stuff, I could make the world's scariest movie, and it'll probably give you nightmares for weeks. Maybe months, maybe for eternity. Maybe it could be for eternity, because if you're going to hell, that's exactly what you're going to see for an eternity. Hell is such an amusement park. Let me tell you what's going on in hell. You're going to see rock concerts. You're going to see all your famous artists. You're going to be able to come and go as you want. You're going to be able to have any drink you want. You're going to be able to just drive cars around and just party all the time and just do whatever you want. There's no rules in hell. There's no rules here. And how's that going for you? Oh, what I forgot to tell you is none of that really exists. But you're going to be tortured beyond torture. And tortured again by another demon that controls whatever sin you was in. And then the next sin, that demon's going to come and get you. And then they're going to have a picnic with you. And then the next one's going to grab you and do the same dang on thing, whatever that sin was. And then they're going to bring you right back to the beginning. And guess what? You're going to be in so much pain. You're going to be healed. And they're going to do it to you again. And then that pain's going to add on top of pain. Good luck. Good luck. Continue to live your fleshly life and continue to be miserable. Continue to be depressed. Continue to let the voices speak to your head. Continue to let people with a title tell you what to do. Well, let me tell you what that title is entitlement to. Because I want to see them mention Jesus. You won't. Why? Because you're a paycheck to them. I've been to plenty of them. I was court-ordered sometimes to go to this stuff, and I had to go. And I had a man at first, and I wouldn't talk to him. They sent in a lady. I said, what makes you any different than the man that was just in here? Now, I know they got the glass and the cameras and all this crap going on, so I'm not stupid. So I'm like sitting there, and she goes, you're not going to say anything? I said, yeah, if you want to go to an outside bench or something and talk, I have no problems. But I will request one thing. She said, what's that? You leave all bags, your briefcase bags and all that stuff indoors. You put on a t-shirt that I can see that you have no wires coming through. Anything after that, I won't talk to you. You really think that we wear... I said, I don't think I know. I can see them. She goes, do I have one on? Then it said, you can see so clearly. I cannot see through this shirt. I said, yes, yours runs straight up the back and it comes right up by the side of your, with that big earring that's hanging right there. Yours tucks in right up underneath the back part of your ear. The microphone, I would imagine. She goes, how do you, there's no wires, so how do you know there's, I said, because I know, I can see. I can't even explain it to you, and I'm not going to explain it to you because your evaluation is going to be different. It's a mental thing. Been there, done it, heard it, I don't care. Sure enough, she reaches up, pulls it loose. She goes, you're right. I don't know how in the world you knew it was there because it's almost impossible because they're so small. I said, I told you I'd seen it. She goes, how'd you see it? I said, I could see through your ear. It was like illuminating to me. That's why I don't want to talk to none of you people. Because you're going to give your psychological bull crap. There's something, it's because you're depressed. I'm depressed because of all the freaking demons that freaking haunt me. They're not demons, it's just depression. And depression, lady, you have no idea what walks around you. So they were getting ready to put me as borderline schizophrenic. I said, you will never put that title down because I will never talk to none of you. Won't do it. I'm here because the court's telling me I got to come here. I got to go to anger management because the court tells me I have to. I'm angered because of the situations that I'm in. When you live a day in hell, come and see me. You grab people's attention real fast. Real fast. But people, look at the end times. Look at what we're in. And you're taking this stuff lightly. The world is literally upside down. There is so much hatred, so much people about themselves, lovers of themselves, boastfulness of themselves. I can't even get conversations in with some people, and they just cut you off. Down there where Darlene goes to the pantry now, and she took over the pantry. So we've been making some changes. There's certain people there, you can't even get a conversation in. I mean, people just start, and it's like, I'm telling you, it's like listening to the demons talk. You got 2 or 3 people talking at once, over talking each other, and then you just finally go, I just have to walk away because I'm about to scream. Because it reminds me of walking into hell, hearing all those voices. And that constant over talking, and one's always a little bit louder. It sends shivers down my spine, people. Literally, my back of my back feels like ice cold into a burning hot, like all at once. When I start hearing that kind of crap, and I say crap because ain't nobody listening. Nobody. I bet you I could sit there and say in the middle of it, I could whisper, I'm going to give each one of you $1 million. They may hear it, or they may not. Or maybe the fact that they hear I'm going to give, and because boastfulness, lovers of themselves. Somebody asked me a while back if I like free stuff. I said, yeah, why not? Who would be against it? You're telling me if somebody's offering you something for free, and there's not, I know what you say, be careful, and I say it all the time too, if it's free, be careful, there may be a catch to it. But if there's no catch to it, if you're walking down the road and you see a sign, free food, it's at a church or something, I know what people's going to think, well, I'm going to have to go in there and listen to a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Well, maybe God's speaking to you to listen to the mumbo jumbo to get your attention before you go to hell. You're on a one-way path to hell. Look at your lives. We're worried about our children. We're crying about our children. Well, guess where I'm going next with this? I'm glad you asked this one. I'm taking back what the devil has taken. This year is a year of return. The Lord told me, this is a year of return. You will see my people be glorified. they will be receiving rewards, and people will start to ask, well, it already happened to Darlene and I don't understand why because of God. It's Jesus. Now, the same person will be coming against me. I say coming against me because there's nothing nice that they say, but I don't really care. It's a heck of a conversation. At least I get to talk about Jesus with them. Maybe something will stick to them. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me, sticks to you. Well, that's true in a way. Oh my gosh, this trucker is in 3 lanes. He just rode in all 3 lanes and just about took out this car. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Lord, please protect these people. Get this truck driver to stop if he needs to stop. Let his tire blow out. Whatever it takes, as long as he doesn't get hurt or anybody around him. Don't ever ride by tandems, the back tires, which are the tandems of the trailers, people, because them tires blow off, you're in trouble. That thing's coming right at you like a rocket. Or pieces, chunks, whatever. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't sue the companies because it's kind of like an act of nature. There's nothing you can do about it. But anyways, he's still doing it. Lord, please, whatever it takes, get this guy off the road. Don't let this guy hurt somebody or harm somebody. And Lord, in your precious name, protect everybody. Protect us, Lord, and keep us safe out here. In your wonderful, glorious name, we say and ask of these things. Amen. I've never seen. Oh my gosh, he's doing it again. He's got to be on his phone or something. I'm about to call 911. This is crazy. Wow. But anyways, if he keeps doing it, I'll probably just end this call and call 911 because it's the right thing to do. This guy's going to kill somebody. Wow. But anyways, so this is the year of the return. How many of you got your income tax? You're excited about that, and you're excited about going out and maybe buying some stuff. Some people go right out immediately and just blow it all, and then they got a consequence later on. Something happens in their life and going, dang, I shouldn't spend all that money. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have, because you're a glutton of today and not thinking about if tomorrow comes. Prepare for tomorrow, but don't plan on tomorrow. Means don't be a fool of today. Prayer, people. I've been praying and praying and praying for a lot of people and a lot of things. Even been praying for people that's been coming to my mind that wanted prayer requests here on YouTube. And way back, don't know whatever happened to them. Don't know, haven't heard from them. And I just hope the best. The last one I heard, she said she was sick. She was trying to sell her house. And I still lift her up. I mean, sometimes that's the worst, not knowing. I think about these suicide hotlines and stuff when all of a sudden the person's talking and all of a sudden the line goes dead and they can't get the person back on the phone. How horrible that must be. Or 911 operators hearing a gun blast. How horrible that must be for them to constantly... I wonder if they also think about these things. But either way, all I can do is pray. I may never know the answer. I don't know. But I know that prayer right now is in silence. Silence prayer, in that secret place with Jesus and the secret place with God the Father. These are the places where we need to be in silence to pray about this stuff, because otherwise the devil's going to attack more on whatever you're praying for. Whatever he hears right now, he's going. Now, I'm not saying go in there and start asking for a car and to win the lottery. Come on, people. Stop with the nonsense. I mean, it's like your kids coming up to you every 5 seconds and asking you, can I have $20? Can I have $5? I need this, I need that. How do you feel? Seriously, how do you feel? Probably not so good. You probably feel like a ATM machine. That's exactly what you're doing to Jesus when you pray for things that you don't even know what's good for you. When was the last time you just opened up prayer and thanksgiving instead of your laundry list? Now, there's nothing wrong if you're having car problems asking Jesus to fix your car or help you get a new one. And whatever's new may not be new off the showroom, but it might be a different car that you never had and it's new to you. You know I got problems with this car that I'm driving, but I'm telling you right now, I'm driving a thing until I can't drive it no more. First of all, it's just a work car. Second of all, I don't care what it looks like. This is probably one of the nicest work cars I think I've drove in a long time. Actually, this is probably the nicest car I've drove since I've been with Darlene. The person I was with before, man, you should have seen some of them cars I drove. They'd end up with a new car and I'd get the junk. But I was a fool. Or was I? You may say, well, Nelson, you put up with it. You're right, I did. I was exhausted, people. Putting up with it no more didn't even exist. Just exhausted, mental. I didn't care. Leave me alone. But the long suffering paid off. The long suffering I'm going through now will pay off. Will pay off when I'm walking through those gates and I fall at my Lord and Savior's feet and I kiss his feet and thank him. I can't thank Jesus enough. Even though sometimes when I do, before I transfer into that realm, I'm thanking him as much as I can thank him. And he just sometimes puts his arm around me and says, there's no need. I did it because I love you. I did it because I love you. Now that's a powerful love, people. Powerful love. Would you take the place for your child if they're about to be tortured and you've seen it? That's like saying, would you run back into a burning house to get your kids out once you see the flames? I'm telling you, every time I see somebody standing outside, they're screaming, my child's in there. I seen a guy run back in after his dog. The fire department tried to stop him. There was no stopping that guy. He went right through him. Like, anybody ever play that game Red Rover where you hold hands and somebody had to run over and try to break through the line? If you got through the line, you got to stay. Anyways, it's an ancient thing kids used to do. Well, you guys are just bored. No, we were inventive. We went outside and had fun. We got fresh air. Fresh air would melt people these days. Video games and everything else. I like video games. Don't get me wrong, I'm not coming against video games. I think some of the games you are playing, you should really watch what you're playing, just the same as what you're looking at. Darlene wanted this certain game, and I got it for her, and then she started playing it, and she goes, I don't want this game anymore. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm doing, and so we took it, traded it in, got some other games. And not like we really play it, but I got it for Christmas because I know how she liked it. And I know some people might think, I've had people go, I can't believe you're getting that for your wife for Christmas. Why not? If it's something she wants, I'm not judging her over it. She doesn't judge me. She might not understand some of the stuff I buy. But there's a reason for it. And honestly, I've never seen anybody so more appreciative of stuff that I buy her than anybody I've ever been around. Honestly. Unbelievable. She's another one, well, just thank me. And I'm like, for what? You know, it's like, that's just her bubbliness and her personality. Very rare these days, I guess. I don't know. But I count my blessings and I count what I have and I count what I'm able to do. each and every day, people. I know this time is short, and I know the very things that it's nuts. I try to help people as much as I can help them, but the other thing is, too, don't waste my time. That irritates me more than anything. Do not waste my time. Because time is really more valuable now than money, possessions of anything, because all the time that I'm spending waiting or doing something, I could be helping somebody else. I'm only one person. Now you know why Jesus had to go and send the Spirit of God and Himself back to earth as our helpmate. Because basically without that Holy Spirit, He couldn't be everywhere at once. On earth, He couldn't do it. Well, He could, but He wasn't His hour yet. He didn't want to show that manifestation yet. But when it was His time, He changed the world, people. He changed the world as we knew it. He gave us hope. Food shortages, I keep speaking it. I listen to Darlene when she's doing the pantry order and the stuff that the last couple of weeks they've been getting in. I said, I'm telling you, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I don't care who you are, what you know. This is crazy. This guy is nuts. Now there's another guy doing the same thing. What is up with these truck drivers today? I'm telling you right now, people, truck drivers are... I'm just kidding. I couldn't even do it because I'm going to be like, well, wait a minute. Wow. This guy's either on his phone. The other guy got off. Now this guy got on. Maybe he got off and got back on. Maybe it's the same truck. I don't know. I can't see the trailer number. I can't see... Now he's slamming on the brakes, so there must be a cop up ahead. Good grief. Yep. Whew. So we're in the troubled times, people. I pulled into the gas pump yesterday. I looked at the prices, and I just smiled. I'm out there pumping the gas, and this guy next to me looks at me and goes, what are you smiling about? How can you be smiling when you're looking at these gas prices? I said, I'm just thanking my Lord. Just thanking my Lord for giving me the finances. And he just looked at me like, been in churches where people say, it's my money, I'll do whatever I want. Well, that's a sad thought, because your money isn't going to do nothing for you when you leave here. My nose is... I need to crack it. When I mean crack it, like push it, get it back into... Never mind. I think I explained this once before, but it'll get so bad it'll actually give me a headache. Oh my goodness. But anyway, through this year, we're coming into April, and there's going to be a time frame for everything that's coming. If you knew a hurricane was coming, you'd prepare for it, people. I've seen it down in Florida more and more. But all the sandbags in the world isn't going to stop what's about to happen. If you go back and watch the original Left Behind series, the very things that I've seen in that, I have seen happen. I walked through a room and seen all this like oval table, and this guy was disagreeing, and he was the one that was running a certain area, and the gentleman pulled out a gun and shot him. And all instantly around the table, they all were in fear of what they've seen. Then I seen another guy get dragged out by his shoulders, dropped him, flipped the chair over, drug him out by his shoulders, and he got everybody's attention. They appointed him. Well, we all know the Antichrist will be appointed. Well, it's coming. You know that saying, it's coming to a theater near you? Well, it's about to come. It is intense of the things are about to come. If you think what we're living in right now, and I know some people say there is no hell, this is hell, we live in it. No, this ain't hell, people. Even if we broke out in war over here and thousands of people died, it's still not hell. It's still not. I had a vision a while back that women and children were being risen up out of here. Children first, and then women after. Think about this. I believe the reason why I've seen this is because they're going to try to use the husbands and wives against each other. Because I had that other vision, this hallway, and there was plexiglass rooms, and you literally could see your family was together, then they separated you and put them over there, and this was to take on a chip, Mark of the Beast, whatever you may say. And it was the idea of taking this on and doing this. They refused, they separated them, and then they were pretty much doing a lot of rotation, sick things to his wife and daughter. Now, the daughter I would put was probably 14, 15 years old, somewhere in there. I would not say over 16 years old, but to brutally see the stuff that was going on, and all I kept thinking is, you take that mark, it's going to convince them to take the mark, and they're killing you. It doesn't really matter. They're going to take you out. They're going to take you out because there's no need for you. Lucifer's got his stamp on you. There's no need to keep you. You're just dead weight. Might as well say, here's your one-way ticket to hell. Go right past heaven, go straight to hell. Because that's exactly what you just did with your life. Because you're so dang on fearful because you live in the world's ways, not God's ways. So, what are you going to do? Continue to let your families fall apart, continue to let it down, or are you about to start putting yourself in check? So many of you are so darn lost, you don't even know where you're at. You don't even know where you're standing. My job's terrible, my family's falling apart, about to get a divorce, and I don't really care. Well, good, now you just put power and authority on what you just said. You don't care, who will care? My spouse is cheating on me. My kids won't listen to me. Kids won't listen to you because they haven't been listening to you. And now that you're going through spousal problems, now you want to be a parent. Well, the kids are already out of control. Now you got to back that control off of them and take the control back. And that's going to take you some time. Oh my goodness. This is why I say, no matter how many fights I've won, I've lost. Because I got to deal with stupidness like this. And I say stupid, it is stupid. Things we do when we're invincible. The things we do when Lucifer convinces us we're invincible. And I've done some stupid stuff, people. I mean, I literally jumped off of 2-story, 3-story balconies. And the neighbor guy was like, man, dude, that is not good. Your whole body trembled. I can see the waves going right through you. That's not good for your heart. It's not good for your livers. Going down the list. Your bones. And I'm telling you, the third time I did it, I literally thought I shrunk a little bit. It's like almost I pushed my legs, but I know that's impossible. But that's how I felt. Isn't that crazy? I mean, I literally thought I lost a couple inches of my height. And that's what made me stop doing it. I literally felt like I got shorter. Then I wonder why I got knee problems and ankle problems and, well, besides crashing cars. Let me tell you what Lucifer's done when I walked with him. And the very things that I asked him. If you love me so much, you care for me so much, then why is your demons dragging me out of bed at night? Why are they throwing me against walls? Why are they dragging me out of bed and dropping me on the floor? Why am I going through so many car crashes being under your authority? Why am I in court so much? Why don't you dismiss these cases from me? Instead, he just, what the freak, man? Instead, he just goes and puts me right back into another area in life that, oh my God. He puts me in another area of life that no good can come from anything. Ever. Compared to where I'm at today. Only thing Jesus expects me to do the right things and give him my heart. To love him. And to love the Father. That's all he asks. To love and do the best I can do every day. I try not to sin. But darn if the devil don't send stuff into my life and gets me on the wrong moment and I slip. And my punishment is what I do to myself. I ask God all the time, correct me, punish me when I need it. Because I need that punishment to stop doing these things. I'm telling you, people. You want your life to change, it's time for you to grab a hold of them reins and change it. Now, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to listen to the teenagers screaming, well, you made the Frankensteins. You allow it to happen. You allow your household, well, we have to work. My spouse works, I work. Well, good. That's America. Again, I can go on a whole theory of all that. That might not even be the right word to use, but I can go on a whole rampage, I guess, on that whole equation. If you think anything out here is truly yours, you're mistaken. Some people just wait for you to pass on. It's amazing. You ever have a day where you just don't want to do anything? You ever do something and you then question yourself, like, because I go, and I'm not bragging on myself, I'm just using this for an example. I go into the pantry, and I tell people all the time, I don't care what anybody else is there for. I go there to help Darlene because some of the people that volunteer there, they just want food, or they want whatever they can get. Okay, and the person that's over Darlene's been training her because she didn't really get much training, although she's been there for a while. But where I'm going with this is, the guy walks in the door, one of the volunteers, and I said, there's a hardworking man. And then her manager says, no, there's only one hardworking man here. He named off the person. And I'm sitting there thinking, my first thought went, okay, she did say man. She didn't say woman. But almost the hardest person in there would have been this. I'm thinking, well, what about Darlene? I mean, I'm in here all different kind of hours in pain. I can barely walk and stand. And now all of a sudden, this is your hardest working person. That's enough to make you want to walk out a door, people. And again, you may think that's prideful. You may think it's boastful. But I cannot believe that somebody would actually say that. It still kind of bothers me. It's like, if that's sad, if that's what you see. Then I think about how Jesus has molded me and sculpted me, because that would have been a few years back. I would have been like, well then why don't you call this person and tell him to get his butt up here and show us how great he works. I'm going home. I got better things to do at home than I got to sit there. I mean, I got a list of things that I want to do. Sit and listen to stupidness like that. But then that's prideful. Because then I know Darlene's got to suffer because she's got some people that just disobey because that's what they were taught they can do. Doesn't make it right. Now the lady is going to be retiring this year, so Darlene will get a new person over her, and hopefully this person will actually stand up for Darlene instead of against her. And that's exactly how I feel. You don't do anything about it, what good is it? You allow them to come in and do nothing but sit down and do nothing while everybody else is working their butts off. I got a problem with that. I really do. Because they volunteer at other places, and I even asked, do you sit down to do the stuff you do there? No. Oh, okay. Again, I'm not saying anything wrong with an elderly person sitting down, but don't use it for a crutch when it's convenient for you. It blows my mind of how bad this world is really becoming. And if you say something, you're a racist. I'm sick of hearing that too. I am beyond listening to racist crap. Beyond. Racism goes both ways. You know, I spoke a while back about the whole thing with racism and different people's months and all this kind of stuff, but when it comes down to a white history month or a white day, there is none. I watched a video the other day with Morgan Freeman on it. Honestly, if you listen to Morgan Freeman, I wonder how many African Americans are going to hate him for what he just said. He asked the guy that was doing the interview, he goes, do you have a month? He goes, what do you mean? He goes, and I forget exactly how he did it, but more or less, your race. He goes, well, I'm Jewish. He goes, okay, well, do you have a Jewish History Month? He said, no. Do you want one? Well, no, doesn't. I think he said no, or it doesn't really matter. Morgan Freeman says, well, I don't want one. I don't want a Black History Month. There's no way to end it if we continue to look at it. Exactly, not exactly his words, but close enough. I've heard Morgan Freeman speak about God.
Speed warning.
I'm telling you. I sat there and I thought about it going, you know what? It's exactly what I've been trying to say to people. But maybe because he's a Hollywood star, maybe people are going to listen to him. Because people don't want to listen to people without titles. It's crazy. I can give you examples after examples of things that God has done through me and used my body to do it. But people want titles. Well, go find a title. Let me know how that works for you. Go find that great pastor that you think is so great that you find out later on that's been in more sin than what you're in. And you're taking advice from that. I guess it falls under do as they say and not as they do. Well, was that just for the Pharisees or is that for everybody? No, it's for everybody. No, the Bible was written for them days. It doesn't exist for today. Yes, it does. Nothing's changed, people. We just keep repeating the same nonsense over and over and over. So let me know how that works out for you. Please let me know how that's going to work out for you. I don't know. I know when the going gets tough, you can have a gun, you can have a bow, you can have knives, you can have whatever you want. When they come, people, they're coming in packs. There's going to be no stopping it. They're going to take whatever they want. It's called lawlessness. They already showed that they could bust into the Capitol building. Unless that was, I believe that was all set up. I believe it was rigged. I don't believe it was Trump that had anything to do with that. I truly believe it was all Democrats. I truly do. I think they set this up to try to get, that's why they're doing this event now, because honestly, you go look at the Clintons that started this whole nonsense. You look at half the people in Congress. You look at all the Senate and all the people that don't pay taxes because they don't have to pay taxes. I mean, people, I spoke about this. I mean, look at it. They're getting free taxes for crying out loud. But yet we go to work every day and bust ourselves silly to try to be able to buy a loaf of bread. That's $4 a loaf now. Exaggerating, but that's what it seems like. You go in there and buy water. Water! If I see any more bottles that says recyclable, made with recyclable material, I'm not buying it. It is the nasty. That water sits in that bottle for a little bit of time and you drink it. And maybe just my opinion. I don't know. But to me, it tastes nasty. I used to drink the same kind of water all the time. And now it's like gross. I don't even want to drink it. It tastes funny. So it's got to be this recyclable garbage because it didn't taste like that until they started using it. It'd be like saying, I made your house out of recyclable materials. Would you let me build it? Would you? You'd be like, Some of you might go, I don't know if it's cheap enough. Okay. Well, here's the contract. Go ahead and sign it. We'll start work tomorrow. So you leave to go to work. You come back after work, and I'm gone for the day, and you see this house being built, but you see stacks of rubber tires in the ground. You see a board with concrete dumped through them and a bolt sticking up out of there so we can put the boards on top of it so we can start building the basement floor. And you're looking going, well, what's that? Oh, that's waterproofing. It's recyclable. I told you we're building everything out of recyclable. Wait a minute, no, how is that tire recyclable? It looks like it's just got off somebody's car. Oh, it probably did. But we built you a recyclable wall. Don't worry, we're going to put inserts in them and we're going to put some boards on it and we're going to put some drywall over it. So you're good to go. We're going to put some ceiling in between there too, so you're good to go. good to go. You may go, you're absolutely wrong. Why am I doing that? I don't know. Just giving you the thumbs up. Good to go. You good to go today. Look at our world. God is showing us so much and we're overlooking it. When all these locusts hit here and it starts tearing the tar out of everything, wait till the fruit, oranges, apples, and all this stuff, prices rise up on all this stuff. You're going to be like, yeah, he told us. The food shortage comes. Beef starts getting mad, cow again. Recalls on chicken, recalls on this. I warned you. I did what I was told to do. As Pontius Pilate, I washed my hands of it. Done. I did what I had to do. It's up to you to start praying. It's up to you to seek the godliest counsel, to be in that godly time, and to sit there until something happens and you hear him speak to you. You never know what to do because you're not sitting there long enough to hear what he wants you to do. When that lightning and thunder starts and we're in that darkness, and them lightning bolts are cracking onto the ground, stuff's being split. The exposure, he said he was going to expose, the Father was going to expose the wrongfulness. He was going to take the money back from the thieves, from the rich, and give it to the poor. Funny he says that, and then look at Trump. And I know you think I'm bashing Trump right now. I'm not bashing Trump. I voted for Trump. I told the people at the voting office he was going to be our next president. They thought I was crazy. A couple people said, nah, Hillary's going to get it. I said, you'll see. Sad but true. We think somebody is going to save something. Jesus paid that price. Jesus already paid that debt. There's no chain that he cannot break. The only way he cannot break it is we don't let him into our lives, people. It's up to you how you handle it. It's up to you what you do with your life. I don't know. It's crazy. I sit and think about the household that I walk into when I'm home, and I examine, am I doing what I should be doing? Am I setting that example? If somebody walked up to Darlene and says, do you feel your husband's a godly person? Do you feel that he's a godly leader under God? Do you see anything that he should change? Well, I never asked her that. She tells me all the time, and I'm glad she does. Glad she tells me how she sees me. I don't let stuff become idols. I took her down last night, showed her I got some Star Wars stuff, and there was a bench thing made in my basement, and it's kind of like my little area. Not like I put it all over the house, although it would be sweet to have a Millennium Falcon table. That would be cool. Then we seen on this toy hunter guy that he goes around the different countries and states and stuff, and he thrift shops. Well, there was this huge Millennium Falcon on the wall. I was like, dang, now that would be cool to put on the outside of the house. That'd be cool to move everything off the one wall in the dining room and use that for a table. Can you imagine Oh my gosh, that would be. Then it'd be even better if I could find like a replica of C3PO and R2D2 and just like put it in a corner and have Chewbacca standing there with a tray of cookies at Christmas time. Oh my gosh. I should have showed you guys our stockings at on the fireplace. We had, we found, because our stockings are green with a white top to it. So we found one at Walmart. The same thing, but it was a miniature one. It's a real small one. So we got it and put it up there for Georgia. And Darlene put this itty bitty little candy cane in there because we put candy canes in our stockings on the end, which is cool because we always had a candy cane in our stockings growing up. So I was kind of happy that she did that because it just brings back good memories. The little things that matters to me, you know, it's not the gifts, it's the little things like that someone pays attention. And then, oh my goodness gracious. Where am I at? Somebody pays attention to what makes you happy and the things that made you happy as a child. Those little moments like that, you sit there and you look at and you go, wow, someone actually paid attention, someone actually cared about your thoughts. That's still new to me today, I'm telling you. I don't get that a lot. She's about the only person that I know that actually listens. And so you think about those days, but it was so cool that I think she found it, to be honest. I can't remember. I just know we were at Walmart and shopping and stuff, and I do believe, because we were looking, but I'm almost positive I guess it really don't matter, but you know, it's just the fact that I was just sitting there, and I think she prayed too. I can't remember if she said she prayed or not, but I was like, Lord, if we could just find one, it'd be cool. Even if it was red, it didn't really matter. So now I'm on the hunt this year to find two more because George and Snoopy got added to the equation. And I don't know, in me, the interaction, from a child up, this stuff's it's real to me. People see what they see. But, Georgie stays at home for the most part. But then this little guy, likes to ride around with me. So, I don't know. I guess it's the little things that bring smiles to my face. I had a person tell me a while back on my birthday, nice. I mean, I wasn't even expecting it. She come over and brought me these three, they're like scale model cars. Two of them were like real old, and one of them was a Chevy Camaro pace car that was like used in NASCAR. And I'm telling you right now, it's just like the fact that someone barely knows me would go out of her way to do that. And these dang things weren't cheap. I mean, I look at them going, dang, it wouldn't have mattered to me if she brought me over a Hot Wheel car, which I do have some. And I'm just sitting there thinking in my head going, wow, someone cares. Someone cares about you. And that's the thing that over the years that I didn't really have in life. But I am on the lookout, people. If you do come across one, let me know. They're vintage, so it's kind of like me, a freaking dinosaur. But I am looking for the generally that has not the sticker on top of the car of the flag that we don't want to talk about. But it's painted on, not the sticker. And the tires, I believe, were rubber. I can't really remember. I think when they first came out, I think they were rubber. But anyways, in the A-Team band, when I packed up my Steelers stuff and gave it to my son, I packed up my jerseys with it, and I wanted the jerseys back. I couldn't find them, and I was like, oh, I bet you I packed it up with the Pittsburgh stuff. And I had a lot, trust me. I mean, my motorcycles, I had the Dukes of Hazzard cars. The motorcycles was from Orange County Chopper. And so make a long story short, I asked him for it, and we were in town at a hotel, which was right next to a Walmart, and he said he was bringing me all the stuff back up and left it in the truck. Well, some of the stuff got broke. Some of the stuff just was ridiculous. I couldn't do nothing with it, so a lot of the stuff went to garbage. But the crazy thing about it is, when I went through it, I mean, yeah, I had these helmets. You had to buy 3 bottles of Coke, Diet Coke or regular Coke, and you got an NFL helmet. Well, I went crazy and started collecting these dang things. And it's not really... I know some people may say, well, Nelson, it's kind of like a drug. It's kind of like thing. It's the only thing that gave me peace, people. I mean, seriously. So if you want to say it was a drug or it's craziness, we'd say whatever, but it's the only thing that kept me alive. I mean, I'm being serious. There's different pains that you go through in life. And heartache is the worst one. When you feel like you're never accepted or you're just a nothing to everybody. And that's how I feel when I'm around my family. You know, the devil does whatever he does. I can accept his nonsense because he really doesn't do it. He just presents it. The people, you're the one does the sin that you're going to do. Every sin I did, it's not because he made me. He didn't hold the trigger over my head and go, well, I'm going to send you to hell right now if you don't do it. No, he didn't do that. I did it because I wanted to do it. I did it because, not because I had a peer pressure friend, because peer pressure doesn't work on me. I don't care what you're throwing in front of me. I don't care what you're trying to offer me. I don't care. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. Get away from me. You deal with Lucifer how you want to deal with it. Most of you are already doing it, and then you're going to blame it on that. The devil made me do it. And I'll tell you right now, when you hear people in the courtrooms, the devil made me do it. If I was on the jury, I'd be like, you're a liar. Sorry, judge, for speaking out. You're a liar. The devil didn't make you do anything. You willingly did what you wanted. You listened to the voices instead of stopping the voices. It's your own darn fault that you're in this predicament you're in. You control yourself. You control the free will. You control if you're going to walk into traffic. If I told you to go jump take off running, and you're going to make it across the Grand Canyon, if you fall, whose fault is it? Not mine. It's yours. Well, who would do that? Well, who does have this craziness? They do. The gun control. Let's just go there. The gun did it. No, the gun didn't do it. That gun is a piece of crap metal, worthless, until somebody picks it up and pulls the trigger. So, you go back to what's important in life and what means something to you. And I think about little things. And yesterday I just sat there and I thought about that whole collection. And I put it in like series, like Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And I started thinking about, I wanted to believe. I really wanted proof that Santa was real. And I was a little bit older because I started losing beliefs in everything at that point. So I asked for a General Lee. Loved the TV show. Loved watching the car more than anything. But I loved the whole cop chasing thing and just the whole thing about it. No, it wasn't about Daisy Duke. I'm telling you, you guys probably, so many people who watch these videos probably sit there and go, come on, you're a young man, you're going into adulthood. No, people, I didn't think about that kind of stuff. Now, when I got in my teens, who did think about it? It was everywhere. People were talking about it. I knew people had girlfriends, and I knew listening to them talk about it and stuff like that. Stuff crossed there, but then, I had opportunities. I mean, I might not be the most handsome person in the world, but I mean, I did have opportunities. But I just didn't feel right. Especially when you're in that relaxed stage of whatever you're doing in life, the opportunity comes and you're kissing on someone, and then things start to tense a little bit, and then reality kicks in going, how am I going to feel in the morning? And I always thought, because if you're going to make this act, what if it's true that somehow your souls connect together? How am I going to feel if I can't be around that person no more? If that person was just after a one-night stand also. I wasn't willing to take another rejection. I wasn't willing to take something in life and make it lightly. Something that's supposed to be so romantic and so powerful. And today, that God has many fragrances of things that we do. He gets a fragrance from it. And I believe that's why I like smelling candles, and I like smelling aromas coming into the house. Because it makes me happy, because I'm thinking about, did I do enough today to give God that pleasing aromas from my life? Did I get out of bed and shake the foundation? And Lucifer knows I'm still here. Maybe I didn't. Then I need to ask, where did I fail? I can't go back and change the children now. I tried. I had the two youngest, like I said, for a while. When the spirit is wild, there's nothing you can do, people. No matter what I try. No matter what I try today, they see me. They totally have showed me how they think about me and how they see me. And I know a person just brought this up to me, and I was telling Darlene about what this guy said, or woman. Again, I don't know. I just know it's on an email, and it said that, I should be ashamed of myself talking about my life. It's supposed to be about godly and how we can. What part of the videos have you not been listening to, first of all? Second of all, like I responded back to this person, I said, listen, I talk about my history and my life because so many people have also commented on how it's helped them. Look at their lives and look at their families. You should be embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed to tell you exactly what I've done in life. I put out stuff on here that could keep me from getting the job somebody says. I don't know. I really don't care. Maybe it'll help a manager of a company start looking at how he manages companies. Maybe it'll look at an owner to look at the company. Am I treating everybody fairly? Or am I just worried about the mighty dollar and stepping down on the people? Well, just remember, you may go to heaven. But you, as a godly person that owns a building, and you're not doing a righteous way by all your employees, you may one day be a servant to them very people. The Bible speaks it. So one day in heaven, one of my bosses may be my servant. Now I wonder if you're going to go through the fact of all the rottenness that they did to you and how they treated you and how they talked to you. Wouldn't that be something? But I know it's not true because you're not going to remember any of that stuff. Nor are you going to probably know if they're your servant. I don't know if you'll even know that. I don't know. Only God and Jesus knows that. for my sake, I hope I don't recall any of it. I don't recall people when I'm in heaven anyways. I don't think about say, hey, can you bless this person? Because I don't know people. I don't know anything that's going on. I don't ask about my pain because I don't have pain. So how am I going to ask to be healed for something that I don't have? Good night. It's almost 7:30 for crying out loud. Yeah, I knew this was going to be a long one. But I think it's an hour and 35 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm probably going to do a part 2, but if not, I just want to get this in case I don't do a part 2 because there's still a lot that I wanted to say, but I think this is kind of my exit, people, to say, here you go. It's been a heck of a journey, and I brought up a lot of facts, and I brought up a lot of interesting things about what the Lord has given. There's still a lot. I still am gonna dig out the tablets and bring all that to light. Basically, a lot of it's happened, but it's just incredible to see how things have happened. The RFID chip, the mark of the beast. I could go back a few years when the Lord gave me that. I remember coming home and writing it down. I wrote it down. I don't even know what it's called, the W something, and all that. Nobody even knew what it was. They had to look it up. I didn't know what it was. I just write the stuff down. I spoke about it on here, one of the videos, way back. But we must continue to keep moving. We must continue to keep traveling. And this roller coaster isn't stopped yet. But I think a lot of people's got off. And I think a lot of people is looking at what they want to look at and take what they want. But I do pray for all of you. Seen or unseen. I do appreciate all of you that's been on here, that has subscribed. Like I said, hopefully more people, the non-subscribers, will at least like the videos if you like it, or give it a thumbs down. At least let me know what you're thinking. Because it's not about my thought, it's about what I'm seeing and how I can change something around and use more that the Lord has given me to try to see you in a different light. Plus, the like buttons gets this material out to more people. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. But, that being said,
Speed warning.
I'm going to do a video for kids and see how it goes off. And I'm talking like younger kids into adulthood. Maybe you might even enjoy it. But I've been wanting to do it. I've been writing down like a storyline and stuff. I always wanted to write kids' books. And so the first video I'm going to do is about bullying, because I believe that's a topic that more kids are suffering through right now than they have to. I truly do. And I believe it's horrible that these kids bully kids, and there's really no end to this. I mean, we're all about to be bullied by Lucifer demons here real soon if you're going to get stuck here. So keep that in mind too. But I'm thinking if this does kick off good, I got a lot of good ideas to do through these teachings of young adults and young children, even older people maybe, to look at their lives a lot different. And I don't know. So hopefully it'll work. It might not. I don't know. But We'll see. Am I still going to do YouTube? Yes. I'm still going to do the videos. I'm not saying that I'm done with that, but I'm done with this section of the warnings. The next set of warnings that I'm going to give you is going to be the upcoming what's to prepare for and how to prepare your spirit even into heaven or hell. And I believe we're that close, people. And it's either... And I'm really only going to probably do one more video even on that. And after that, I'm pretty much done talking about how to change your lives. Because by now, I've given every kind of warning I think I can give to examine yourselves. Help Jesus. Ask Jesus to examine you. It's pretty much up to you at this point. You know, some people wanted my email. I put it out there. I mean, it's on the videos. You just got to go on there and look at the videos. I've even replied to a few people that wanted it and gave a thumbs up. I don't know. Go back and look at a couple of the videos where you asked other people on there if they have gotten it. I put it out there, public people, on the videos. I'm more than helping. I'm more than welcome. I'm more than happy to help and talk to anybody. I'll help you the best I can help. But the best thing that through it is prayer. I have no problems doing a live chat, one-on-one. No problem. Whatever's going to help you. But just know, the same as what I'm telling you, the same as I'm going to say, and I'm going to end this video. Don't waste my time. There's so much going on, so much I want to do, and I know time is short, and I want to start doing this other stuff. And again, not saying that people are a waste of time. I'm just saying, please, just don't start something and then change it off, because there's no finish to it. And that's what the devil wants. The devil wants not to finish. Well, okay. As Pontius Pilate did, I washed my hands of it, and I'm done. I'm sorry. That's just how I'm molded. That's how I'm wired. And I find it very frustrating when people fall back into the dark side of things and allow that to happen. And one of the things I even said, you watch the being vulnerable. You're going to hear this. And sure enough, that's exactly what happens. I'm not the bad person. I speak of Jesus. I'm not in there speaking of the Lucifer now and still doing the chants and the poems and I say poems because that's another dark area there. I really didn't even want to say that. I was going to say potions, but the chants and let's just erase the first part of it. But and please, people, don't look this stuff up. I mean, if you do, it's on you. You better ask for protection. And you better hope that you're in the grace of God and not tiptoeing through the garden, because the devil can grab a hold of you in different ways. And trust me when I say this. You open Pandora's box. Be ready. You go into the circus and you start poking at the monkeys and realize that the cage ain't shut, and they come out and attack you. It's your own fault. Don't go smack a beehive and expect not to get stung. Don't go playing with fire and you don't get burned. Should I go on? Because I got a lot of them I can use. But anyways, it's been interesting. But I just want to say thank you guys for on the last stats that I've seen. Amazing how 25 to 30, 5-year period, so between 25 and the age of 30, they have watched these videos all the way through. And I had a person that commented saying that they were 28 years old and wish they would have had this kind of material when they were growing up. They would have never done the things they did. And all I can reply is, it's never too late for Jesus. His blood has washed and cleansed us. All you have to do is ask for Him to be a part of your life. And let Him do the rest. Cast all your concerns and all your sins in your life and place it in His hands. We'll go from there. So that being said, God bless you guys. Give a thumbs up if you want, if you like this material. And let's get it across the world. Keep praying. Don't be foolish of what you pray for. When I pray for everybody else, and I tell Jesus, you know best what I need, and I accept whatever you place into my life. Pretty much sums it up. I don't have to give him a laundry list. He knows I already have a laundry list. It's constantly rolling through my mind. Look at what you have in your life, people. Examine your life today. Examine your household. Be thankful if you got children. Be thankful if you got grandchildren that comes over. Be thankful for all that you have in your life. Hold that. Today, whenever you hear this video and you make it to the end, examine your lives. Take part of your life, look at your life, and look at what you have in your life. Whether it's a nice place, nice apartment, nice mobile home, nice module home, nice RV, camper that you live in, a tent that you live in, be grateful that you have a tent. But really look at how God has blessed you. Starting with the number one blessing of all, His Son, our Savior, the Lord Jesus Christ. The Alpha and the Omega, beginning and the end. Write it down. Write down all the things that you see that you haven't really been so thankful for. You open up your refrigerator, is there food in there? You open up your cabinets, is there food in there? Do you turn on the heat and you got it heat? Do you turn on it, switch, AC kicks on? Oh, we are blessed more than what you think. So God bless you. May the Lord be with you. May your day be prosperous. May you be filled with the Spirit. May your gifts be overpouring out of heaven, down on earth. May His blood be over you and protection be with you. May your sight be open. May your hearing be open and hear only of what the Lord Jesus Christ has to say. Let all things else be detoured from you. Let you walk in love, joy, and happiness. And let sorrow, when it comes, turn into joy. Let nothing distract you, keep you from His path and the leadership that He has. In your wonderful name, Lord, we lift this up to you. Our lives, our spirit, our flesh, our soul, our free will, use it accordingly to your plans and the Father's. Amen. God bless you guys.